Hello, and welcome to our presentation of tissues. And no, this is not the tissues that you used to blow your nose in. These tissues are in your body, and there are four types of tissues, which are epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous. Today, we will be discussing the nervous tissue. The nervous tissue is one of the four important classes of tissues that construct the central nervous system, as well as the peripheral nervous system. The two main functions of the nervous tissue is the controlling of the body and communication. There are two categories of cells that are integrated in nervous tissue, neurons and neuroglia. Ever touch a hot pan and immediately pull your hand back? Well, those are your neurons sending messages to other nerve cells, muscles, or gland cells. Your neurons send messages to your brain, helping you communicate with yourself. Neurons are highly specialized nerve cells that produce and conduct nerve impulses. The second type of cell is the neuroglia. Neuroglia cells are supporting cells that provide physical support, remove debris, and provide electrical insulation. Known to be the forgotten brain cell, neuroglia cells produce myelin, a substance that increases the speed of impulses along the axon of the neuronal fiber. There are about 100 billion neurons in the brains of humans, while there are about 10 to 50 times that many of neuroglia cells in human brains. The human brain is command or control center of the central nervous system. When a message is transmitted from anywhere in the body to the brain communicates with the body to react. Take the example of you touching a hot pan. Your hand pulls back and your nerves in your hand transmit a sign of pain in the body. The brain then transmits signals to the muscles in your hand to pull back immediately. Now, nervous tissue can be found in three locations of the body, which are the spinal cord, the nerves, and the brain. Nerves are situated everywhere in your body, from your internal organs to the tips of your fingers. Nerves are connected to the spinal cord, which connects to the brain. If you step on a sharp object with your bare feet, the pain you exhibit is packaged as a signal and is transmitted through the spinal cord to your brain. The spinal cord and brain are also made up of nerves. These nerves are under the housing commonly known as matter. There is gray and white matter that protects the nerves in place, and this matter can be found in the spinal cord. The brain is also constructed of gray and white matter as well, with the nerves situated within. The function of the nervous tissue are sensory input, integration, motor control, and movement and control of muscles and glands, homeostasis, and both conscious and unconscious thought processes. Nervous tissue helps you function as a human being and go about your daily life. Your nervous tissue helps you perform in sports, in academics, and many other activities that need the support of this tissue. Like said before, in the nervous system, the brain helps with perception and processing of sensory stimuli, execution of voluntary motor responses, and the regulation of homeostatic mechanisms. The brain is the command center of your nervous system. The nerves function as fibers of sensory and motor neurons. The digestive tract, which is the enteric nervous system and is responsible for autonomous functions, can operate independently of the brain and spinal cord. The spinal cord is initiation of reflexes from ventral horn and lateral horn gray matter. Pathways for sensory and motor functions are between the periphery and the brain. Lastly, the ganglia is responsible for the reception of sensory stimuli by dorsal root and cranial ganglia. It is also responsible for the relay of visceral motor responses by autonomic ganglia. All of these parts contribute to the nervous system, and all of these parts work independently. There are many nervous system diseases ranging from multiple sclerosis and epilepsy to aphasia and cerebrovascular accident. Many of these diseases are hereditary, and there's nothing that can prevent these diseases. The only thing you can do is visualize the disease when it situates in a person's body. The first disease we will be talking about is multiple sclerosis. This disease is an unknown cause that establishes as multiple hard plaques of degeneration of the insulating layer of nerve fibers in the central nervous system. The loss of insulation allows short-circuiting of nerve impulses. Depending upon the location that degeneration occurs, patients may suffer with paralysis, sensory disturbances, or even blindness. The second disease is cerebrovascular accident, also known as a stroke. When a blood vessel in the brain bursts, it will cause internal bleeding. Another situation is when a clot germinates out of a blood vessel that then deprives the brain tissue of oxygen. The patient at risk can suffer paralysis, loss of speech, or loss of vision. The third disease is transient ischemic attack, or another term for not quite enough blood. This disease can cause a short period of insufficient blood supply to the brain, resulting in stroke with symptoms as weakness in an arm and partial loss of vision. The situation lasts less than 24 hours. People who have this disease may contain chances of a stroke in the future. The fourth disease is epilepsy, a Greek word for seizure. Seizures have many causes, but not all seizures directly relate to epilepsy. Young children who have high fever may trigger seizures, which does not last long, is easily controllable, and does not have any after effects. Epilepsy can take place at any age, which results the seizures to be more intense, lasting longer in time, and recur with some regularity. This condition can be controlled or managed with the help of medication. If the person is unresponsive to medication, they may require surgery. The last known disease to scientists is aphasia, which is loss of speech. In your brain, the speech centers are located on the left side of the brain. If ever a traumatic injury were to occur to the left side of the brain, the person might suffer speech impediments, speaking slowly and with difficulty, or complete loss of speech. The left side of the brain is a motor speech area, which produces language by integrating thoughts of speech with the movements of the larynx, lips, and the tongue. The second speech area, which is a receptive or sensory area, enables us to understand speech of dialogue. If an injury were to occur to this area of the brain, the symptoms will be the same as not being able to communicate or loss of speech. The new symptom is that the patient will not be able to hear the conversation or dialogue. Along with all these injuries, the nerve tissue is affected majorly, and the nerve tissue can slowly deteriorate. If ever an injury was to occur to the head, or have experienced an injury, go to the nearest ER or hospital and have an evaluation done. The procedure to detect any brain injuries is consulting a neurologist, brain scan, an MRI, or an EEG. These procedures will help you detect any traumas earlier and help you prevent it. The importance of nervous tissue and how it interacts with the nervous system is extremely crucial to life. This helps us to communicate, interact, and even understand others in our society. Along with understanding the importance of the nervous system, we must understand the diseases that affect the nervous tissue and system, along with understanding how to visualize and take caution of these diseases.